Right, hey people, time for a bit of an update on something that's been going on. So here is the Suffolk Colt, and yeah, something started to happen to it. So decided I was out cutting the grass today, and it kept stalling out. Then I was like, oh, maybe the carb needs adjusting. Adjusted it, was running all right, and halfway going down the lawn, it stopped and would not start, and seemed to have poor compression. It would only run when it was set quite rich, and so yeah, I set it like normally and it wouldn't run, and then it stopped and didn't have much compression and wouldn't start. So I then thought, oh god, what's happened here? And I opened it and found there's lots of carbon in the valves. I did decoke it, so now the pistons and the cylinder head are now clean, and I think the gasket survives, so that's good. My iPod is now turning on out battery. But the gasket's alright. One of the metal kind, so it's gonna. Yeah, it survived. Head is cleanish. That's all I could get out of it, really. And there's the plug. That's what it's running like. Pretty good. It's quite lean. But that's how it was set, and it was running fine before this happened. And I could get it to run in choke, but as soon as I took it off choke, it would die. And then it stopped with the compression, so I had to take it apart because I thought it would just be a simple carb adjustment, didn't I? So it seems that it seems to be this valve here. There's no wear in them at all, pretty much. It's a tiny bit loose. I don't think the exhaust valve's even better. It's like not moving at all. And the piston in this one, and the bores, really good. There's a bit of crap in there. I'm gonna wipe that out with a rag soon. But yeah, there's barely any play in the piston. So the top basically none. So it must have had. There's a tiny bit, but it's to be expected. Yeah, so I've taken the whole thing apart. All the parts are in the shed, and I'm going to take the valves out and grind them. So it's only going to be a top end rebuild. The bottom end's fine, just to try and improve its running, and it really did need decoking. There was like carbon built up all around the valves to the point where the valve was like a wall of carbon around them. So yeah, it really needed it, and so it's had it done now. And I think the problem was carbon around the seats on this valve, but the seats on the exhaust valve is horrific. It's just like so coked up around it. Like, I don't think that the iPod's going to be able to focus on this in this macro, but as you can see, it's all coked up around the valve, and so it's going to need removing. The intake valves and the seat needs doing. Is pretty crap on it as well. The valve's not got all it could do grinding, I think, and I found that the problem, even though I've cleaned this off, it now does not. It does not have any. This valve's not seating properly, so all the exhaust gases shoot past it and out the air filter. I did know, sort of, in the past that the valves needed some attention, because occasionally when slowing down from a high speed, it would backfire a bit, which would indicate to me that the valves need doing. So yeah, they're getting done. It's been completely decoked and stuff. So yeah, I'm quite pleased with this engine though. The bore is pretty decent. It's not obviously not very worn. The piston rings are obviously quite good. It does burn oil, this engine though, so they might have a big ring gap on it. Maybe just the bore that's not warm, but the rings are. So I'll put it back together. It doesn't burn oil. Sorry about that. The iPod cut off. But as I was saying, the rings on this are pretty decent, pretty good. So that's going to work out quite well for me. So don't have to replace them. Some could do the clean, but it's all right. But this engine obviously has been well looked after. I do know it's been serviced all of its life, so that's probably why it's in such good nick. So when it needed anything done to it, it would have had it done. And the guy that owned it was one of the people who worked there, so yeah, it's obviously been well looked after. I mean, the carbon wasn't too bad in there, but it got to the point where all the soft stuff had like gone around the valves and stuff, so it did really need doing. But I think the camera on this is a tad better, so let's see if we can have a look at the valves. Yeah, they need doing. Got the cover off, and I've got the valve protector thing off, and I'm going to grind the valves in while I'm at it and clean the ports out. Might see about removing this exhaust stub. I know they get completely like rooted in there, but if you get a pipe wrench on that, I reckon it'd come out. So yeah, the carb's been newly rebuilt. I did try the standard settings that are in the Suffolk manual, which is 1 turn and 1.5, and it still didn't want to run properly. So I assumed that the fact that the engine was so coked up, it needed more fuel to run or something. Because I assumed that, because if there's lots of carbon around the things, then it's going to be blocking the fuel from getting into the engine properly and breathing. That's what I observed with one of my other engines anyway. So yeah, that's my project. The only gasket I need to buy, because the head gasket of course survived, is going to be the exhaust stub gasket, if I still use this exhaust, because I was thinking of getting a different style exhaust, because this one's all very well, but it's a bit, I prefer the sound of the earlier sort of pepper pot style exhaust, so I might end up getting one of those for it, with like a exhaust elbow that comes out here, because I saw someone do that and it sounded quite good. Not being a copycat or anything, but I just think that that's the original sound that these would have made, a bit more of a sort of deeper note. So yeah, this engine's going to be pretty well sorted out. Never even touched the points under there, they're probably all alright. But yeah, the carb's now clean, and there's still a bit of crap on it, but I might clean that up a bit more. I'm definitely going to give the top end some love, because it really needs it. So that's my project at the moment. I am looking out for another Suffolk, or a Webb or an Atco. So probably an Atco B14 or something like that, or a Webb 14-inch but with a Briggs on it, which would be quite good. And the good thing is if I get a Webb, I can put my Briggs on it, because that engine runs really well, burns no oil at all. The 77 one, so I can throw that on it and it would run perfectly. That engine is fine, it's just great, that thing. But yeah, I just need to get this thing all set up properly, and it should run. I'm going to take the valves out, clean the ports properly. I'm going to use probably screwdrivers to get down in there and sort of loosen it all up, then flush it through with petrol down through the valve guides, and then I'll definitely re-oil everything when I put it all back together. But yeah, that's the up to at the moment. The rest of the mower is in perfect working order. Had it cutting today, that's what it was doing before it stopped, and I do need to do some more setting up on the blades, because one side of them's not contacting properly. I think it's this side. I just need to set them up a bit better. But yeah, that's my project at the moment. Thanks for watching.